10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more Dota 2. We're now to Group B here in the group stages of TI6. I'm ODPixel, I'm joined by Draskin, and we're ready to get ourselves into what's going to be quite an insane one. We've got Team Liquid up against NewBee. Kuroki, Fada, Jerax, and Mind Control, and Matumba Man ready to clash heads with Kaka, Mu, Hao, Chuan, and KP. Andy, this is arguably going to be one of the highest level games that we're going to see so far.
I would assume so. I mean, you're looking at Team Liquid, obviously doing very well in the major, not winning, but they actually knocked NewBee out of the major. And interesting to note, the last 2 times these teams met, Team Liquid took both series, one at Epicenter, one at Manila. So,
absolutely, but not without NewBee taking a game at the moment.
Right, they were not sweeps. They were very close series, so I'm expecting to see more of the same here. You can see the hero prioritization and bans, so NewBee still respecting the Jerax, Earth Spirit, of course, and taking out the Mind Control Beastmaster, and Liquid doing the more standard bans, I would say. The NewBee are banning more around the team that they're playing, and Liquid are banning the patch, in my opinion, which is fine. Yeah. It's 2 different ways of thinking about it, but both are valid in their own way, and NewBee just going to go ahead and open up with the Mirana. Very ambiguous pick, all around strong, can do pretty much anything.
It's as you said, it's a jack of all trades, and well, it's not really a master of none. It seems to be a master of everything. Yep. That's the thing with Mirana at the moment. NewBee obviously feeling the strength. Liquid, how are they going to respond? Obviously, as you said, with the fact that Beastmaster's been taken out, we do see a lot of teams, they do like to prioritize banning out Mind Control's heroes, taking away a lot of his strong offlaners. So we'll see if Liquid want to grab something early. And sometimes we see them getting in something like the Darkseer straight away, anything that they feel that Mind Control can have a very safe lane on and provide a lot of the fight. Oracle Batrider is going to be the opening, and already, Andy, I can smell a Huskar. Is this something that Liquid are going to be thinking about with that Oracle pick?
That's what everyone says throughout these group stages so far. In the beginning half of the day, you know, you got some teams sitting there watching the games from the lounge area that we have that's not too far from the casting booths. And they all just say, this is a Huskar game. And it's almost every game that you hear that uttered at least once by either a pro player or one of the other commentators. And I mean, the thing about this opening that I like from Liquid is the idea that you're picking one of the natural counters to bat with a bat. And I think Oracle is probably the best bat counter right now, just because it doesn't put you in any immediate danger. It's a free, I either get you out of the lasso, I reduce the damage that you do to pretty much 0, because bat's all magic when you have the Fate's Edict on. It's just all around a very solid opening. But yeah, Huskar obviously going to be on the table here, especially with the addition of Lion here from NewBee, another very heavy magic damage dealing hero. I'm sure they're thinking about that going later into the draft, but we'll have to see.
From Liquid taking out the tide away from NewBee's hands, and there is the Huskar ban. NewBee, they can smell it. They do not want to mess with Matu on the Huskar, understandably so as well. Liquid, they are a team that pretty much shatters the hopes and dreams of many opponents with that Huskar pick, and NewBee, they're not going to let it slip through their reaches this time.
The other thing too that I'm thinking about after seeing the opening of NewBee, against heroes like Lion especially, I really like Lycan from Matumba Man. I think that's one of those heroes where he excels in situations.
His Lycan's brilliant.
I mean, his Lycan's amazing, don't get me wrong. He's probably top 2 or top 3 Lycans in the world right now, in my opinion. But when you have that hero against Mirana and Lion, they're not very good when there's hyper aggression and just being ran at constantly. So Lycan kind of gives you the freedom of, okay, if I get Vlad's, we get Roche, we snowball, BKB comes out, and these heroes like the Mirana and Lion just don't do anything. And it also supplements you and a great deal in the laning phase just because of Howl, good push potential. Obviously, we're talked about killing Roche, all very, very good things. So we'll see what kind of path that Liquid want to take. Obviously, they don't have to. I just feel like it's in their wheelhouse, something they're very good at doing.
10 seconds remaining.
Taking away the Slardar as well, so very much now, you know, they are targeting newbies here. You know, at the start, obviously, with the opening, the Drow, the other time, it's like, oh, okay, it's just the standard opening. But now, with the Slardar ban, the Tidehunter ban, Liquid, they're looking at what NewBee's strengths are, and they're trying to cut down on them. NewBee now, 4th ban. Liquid still looking for a couple of cores and a support. See what they prioritize. I mean, Liquid, you feel we could be seeing anything special in combination with the Oracle? I mean, well, obviously the Huskar was the kind of go-to thought process. What else could they be looking to run in tandem with an Oracle backing it up?
I just think that Liquid are the type of team who always, they're dire, they have a tendency to pick heroes that are very good at killing Roche from a Matumba Man, like Ursa and Lycan are the first two that come to mind. I just like the synergy of it because it allows you to snowball the game that much harder, just having that Roshan killing potential. But they're going to take out the DP, which I think is a really solid choice. And Liquid are going extremely aggressive with their picks. Bounty Hunter, obviously very good in the early game against heroes like Lion. You can be a nuisance, follow him around, just negate experience, win lanes, cause a lot of pressure out on the map. A very overall strong pick. And it also says that, hey, we're going in.
I imagine this is going to be a Jarek's bounty.
I would assume so.
Yeah, because it's these kind of heroes, obviously his signature Earth Spirit, but the bounty, he's so good at knowing where to be on the map. He's always in the right place at the right time. He's very, the bounty hunter, great against the kind of stuff that Mirana's going to be wanting to pulling. And also, just if they're able to start to get the ball rolling, find the picks with the bounty, the Batrider combinations, set up the fights, it really, really could be very, very tasty for Liquid financially. Newbee, going to be able to get the Ogre Magi pick for it. Now, this is a hero that it seems to be the hero at the moment. Everyone is kind of loving the Ogre, and it does get first banned out in some games.
The priority is a little bit different because in Group A, we saw a lot of really good laning supports picked up early. But when you open Oracle Batrider, Oracle's not necessarily like the strongest laning support. A lot of the time you can pressure by doing this dual offlane or aggressive anything really, because he doesn't really zone. So with that being said, it's just that Newbee come out with a Mirana and you just don't know what they're going to do yet. So it's really hard to justify picking something that you just don't think is a good pairing together. And that's why I kind of emphasize the importance of the Oracle and Bat being picked in the same phase. Because it allows you that freedom of saying, all right, we don't have to deal with this hero anymore. And plus our Batrider gets that free initiation. Not to mention track speed synergy with Bat, just the vision, being able to chase with a Timber Saw on top of that, a hero who's already extremely mobile. Team Liquid are obviously going for a lot of aggression here in Newbee. They're going to get the Naga Siren.
Yeah, and look at the face of Jarek's. That's someone that's just had a Naga picked against him. He's like, all right, boys.
It's a Naga game.
It's going to be a long one. And well, if Newbee have their way with it, it certainly is going to be. The Naga Siren indeed. I mean, this is something that we have seen, especially the Chinese teams. They do like to bring it out, and they do like to pull out the long ones and have a lot of success with it. Why would you do it against Liquid, do you think, Phil? Why Newbee bringing it out this game? It's
something that just kind of stunts tempo. So you're in this team fight and you have a bunch of tracks out if you're Liquid, and all of a sudden Naga just songs and everybody TPs out. It's like, okay, well, our whole lineup is built on this momentum of like winning a laning phase, getting track kills, running at you, chasing you. Naga Siren ult is like the de facto counter to all of that. It just says, nope, you're not getting any bonus kills, you're not chasing me down. It puts a lot of pressure on Liquid to make sure that their heroes do well in lane, and then they can snowball their advantage and try to take map control as early as possible, because if they don't against Naga Siren, it's going to be a pretty stressful game. They have very limited catch for the hero. The only thing on Liquid that straight up can just catch out a Naga is Batrider. And then if you don't kill her in the lasso, there's a good chance there's a disengage, or, you know, at some point in the game, Lion and Mirana are going to be pretty hard to deal with. You're going to have blink daggers and whatnot, and Ogre Magi can also be very frustrating just because of just the sheer amount of stuns that they have. Not to mention Ensnare. So they have a lot of tools to stop Team Liquid from being aggressive in this game, but I still feel like that's the style they have to play. They're already way too committed to playing an aggro style here from Liquid.
Talking about what the tools that they've got, obviously something like a Weaver, that could have been a huge issue, because you've got the lasso to catch him. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's literally it.
The Weaver's off,
10
so
seconds remaining.
And no chance. Liquid are going to let that one get through this lineup that Newbee trying to pull off. Newbee, what are they wanting to take away from Liquid? They still need, looks to be the Matu here. Actually going to ban out the Alchemist. That's a bit of an interesting ban, because I would have expected Farta to play the Timber Saw, but
I was thinking about Alchemist and AM for Liquid if they wanted to play kind of like a plan B in regards to what their draft was normally supposed to do, because the AM can just get his items faster than the Naga and just start pushing and pressuring the lanes, and plus you already have Timber on top of that, so then you all of a sudden have this lane equilibrium war that you're just straight up winning, right? Because Timber and AM just clear the creep wave so fast that Naga Siren needs Radiance in order to really match that tempo. And there are some ways that Liquid could probably force the pace a little bit faster, but we'll see. They have a couple of options. The Alk is definitely a good ban.
Sven is the final pickup here for Newbee. Liquid, how will they respond? Could we see, so if you're talking about them trying to force the pressure, something like the Matu Ursa come out and he can just swipe the hell out of them? Is that just not?
I don't know about Ursa this
risky
game. Ensnare is really annoying, because even if you get BKB, you're just ensnared. Sven, you know, you can kind of man fight a little bit with God Strength on.
5
There's
seconds
so
remaining.
many disables on Newbee. Like Sven stun and snare, Ogre stun if he gets Aghanims, that's 2 stuns.
Reserve
Lion
time.
has 2 stuns. Mirana has arrow. I would not want to play Ursa this game personally.
So you're still feeling maybe the Matu anti-mage could come out?
Well, against Sven, it's not as good.
Okay, that's kind of put a halter to that.
Yeah, we'll see though. I mean, I feel like Newbee kind of have a better draft at the moment, just overall. Because I feel like their game plan, they can choose to fight or they can choose to farm.
10
They don't really
seconds
have to commit to
remaining.
one style of play. Okay, it's going to be the morph.
Obviously, well, this is a hero that Matu's
This
been
is
playing
good.
a lot
No,
of
this is-
recently.
This is really good, and it's going to be offlane Naga anyway, because the last pick Sven, it just means that the Naga is not going to be getting much farm priority. So they changed it up a little bit at the last second.
Wow. Morphling for Matu. It's, as I said, it's something that he's been playing a lot in his ranked game, and something that they've been able to make work a lot in a lot of the competitive games that they've been running through as well. But overall, as you said, you know, Newbee reacting potentially to those kind of picks. They are going to have indeed that switch around potential between the Mirana and the Naga in those different lanes. Overall, though, draft-wise, do you favor Newbee, or do you feel that Liquid, the Morphling, is a great way to round up the draft?
I think Morph is really good here.
Yeah.
Because you have this burst potential when you get E-Blade up and you're a
10
natural Linken's
seconds
carrier as
remaining.
well, which means it's very hard to initiate on Matumba Man. And not to mention you have
5
Oracle just in
seconds
case, you know,
remaining.
as a plan B, can stop a lot of magic damage that's incoming, which Mirana really relies on and being able to take heroes out during a fight. So a well-placed Fate's Edict can just stop a ton of damage output from the side of Newbee until Sven starts to get some farm. So we'll see what happens. I think it's a little bit more equalized now with the Morphling last pick and seeing that it's actually going to be KP playing Naga. But we'll have to see how Newbee make this work.
I'll see as we get ourselves in. Oh, okay. We'll have a pause, but it's not going to stop us from being able to run through the lineups as we can see here on screen. KP. Oh, sorry, you said they switched around, didn't you?
No,
No,
KP,
they did.
KP
They're
took
showing
the-
it wrong. They just showed KP. No, KP's not playing Mirana, boys. He's playing the Naga.
Yeah.
So, apologies for the graphics. The rest are right there. No, Kaka is not playing.
They just swapped the support on the offense.
I'm very confused.
Alright, don't worry about it.
Valve is memeing
Matumba
me.
Man's playing Bat Rider. This seems about right.
This is right. No, that yes. Well, it's you have to piece together the bits of the puzzle we're giving you at home. I'd love to see Matu Bat and Mind Control Morphling. I'm sure it would be brilliant, but we're not going to get to see that today, I'm afraid. It will indeed be Mind Control on that offlane Bat Rider. As he's come down here already, he's got a ward ready. Let's see what he's able to come and do down here at the moment. What's the plan here from Mind Control? It's just, by the looks of it, just kind of cut himself a little bit of path to play with. Is he?
I think he just wants to pull the creep wave.
I get
when
this
it
ward
spawns.
down as well. There we go.
Yeah, I think he can wait here, and then by the time the creeps spawn, he'll have Firefly again, and then he gets like a free wave, and he can kind of freeze the creep wave at the tower or something like that. It's
30
similar to what you see
seconds to
lone druids do when they used to play
Yes,
offlane a
with
lot.
the
They
bear.
would just take the bear and drag it. I think it's kind of the same thing, so that'll be pretty helpful if he can manage to do it. Newbee though with the smoke, they're looking for something.
Well, they're looking for blood, Newbee.
They have very good level 1 kill potential.
Do they have detection if it gets dispelled?
Right now, yes, they have
yeah,
dust.
they've got
They
dust
have
ready.
dust.
They've got dust ready. They know Kuro's back, and there we have it. Kaka pops the dust. He will get the ignite out, and Newbee starting to close the gap. The arrow, it's on point. What a way for Newbee to start the game as they close in around Kuroki and take first blood. Newbee ready for the bounty hunter plays there with that smoke used to tell themselves where that bounty is.
That was very unfortunate for Kuro. And the thing is, the arrow was at such an angle that he couldn't even see the arrow coming because the tree line was blocking his line of vision.
There we go. Mind Control says, nice creeps, sir. I'll have those. And brings them up to the north. What do you think about these lanes then that Newbee's brought out? They're putting the Naga down the bottom. They're running the Sven and the Lion and the Ogre head to head with the safe lane of Liquid.
This is a very hard aggro tri line to deal with. Ogre and Sven have ridiculous early game stats. There's just an insane amount of armor between the two of them, very high base health, a lot of stuns. It can pressure a Morphling lane, especially when you know that there's going to be an Oracle support and a Bounty Hunter. These heroes don't really excel in fighting, and I also mentioned during the draft that Jerax playing that Oracle, he's not the best at trading. You're not really going to trade super well in this situation where you have either an equal number or more supports. This is not really ideal for Liquid in the very start.
Mid lane. Moon and Father just playing with each other here. As the CS to start with 1-0, Timber 5 for 2. Is this expected? Do you imagine Timber's going to be able to keep himself ahead of this lane, or can Moon catch up?
God, yeah. You get a poor man's shield and level 1 reactive, and Mirana does nothing to you right-click wise. She has very low starting damage anyway. And if Fada's feeling especially scared, he can just get the second pointer reactive at level 3, and then he's just God mode.
Yeah, this is looking like super easy CS.
Yeah, there's nothing that Mirana can really do.
All right, thanks for the lane, Moo. 12-4 versus the 1-0. Oh wow, denying as well like a boss.
He's super confident. He even skills the second point of Whirling Death. He understands this matchup.
Oh, Moo's just doubled his CS though.
It's not going great for Moo right now, but there's always time to recover.
On top lane, Kuroki hanging around to provide some kind of backup for Jarex and Matumba Man if it does all go down. 7 for 5 on the Sven. See what they can do here. Looking for going on to Chuan, but how's ready to block them off. Get the stun back to hold back Kuro. Chuan falls low, the nuke's not going to be quite enough.
That Warcry saved his life. How hadn't he used Warcry there, he would have died for sure. The extra armor kept him alive. 5 armor during the early game is actually a huge difference in regards to how much right-click damage you take. So very, very well played. At least Liquid are able to establish some kind of pressure instead of just letting the Sven completely free farm. The Kaka is also preventing either of the Liquid supports from getting a pull-off, which would result in a lane equilibrium obviously going closer to their own tower, and you obviously don't want that. So. And
I guess this makes it very hard as well for like Kuroki to move around the map as much as he may have hoped to, because to a point he's going to be needed up here. Or?
I mean, he can't go mid. Like, you're not going to kill the Mirana, and Fata doesn't really need the help anyway. And when
here we go. Trying to move it on to Kaka again. The war cries there. The nuke this time they've got it. Liquid find themselves the kill on to Kaka, taking down the big old ogre.
It's like how didn't stun there. I'm not sure. Maybe he was just too low from taking harassment and then underestimated the magical burst damage potential of the tri-lane. Because the one thing about Oracle is even if he's not great at trading, he can burst very well just by having like 1 or 2 points into Purifying Flames and then the Fortunes end on top of that. Not to mention Shuriken, once Kuro gets it, is a very high damage spell even at level 1.
Kaka is heading in again, just making sure Jarex and Kuroki have got their hands full with the presence of these supports up on the top lane for Newbee.
I mean, the Morphling's still not getting any farm, so even though they lost Kaka there, you're comparing 15 and 10 to 7 and 3. So Matumba Man is getting almost nothing out of this in comparison to what the Sven is.
Is there a reason if you're Liquid why you just accept the lane situation and don't try and move it about? Or is it just the fact that you know that Newbee are going to react to?
The 1v1s are fine. Like their solo laners are doing well. KP might even be dead.
Oh, he's playing around with him down at the bottom. Oh, he's falling low. Mind control. Can he do this? He's got 2 stacks. He is. All right, there we go, boys and girls. 1v1 mind control. Taking down KP's Naga.
Yeah, so that's the saving grace, is that Liquid's solo laners are both doing extremely well in their respective lanes. Like 19 and 8, beating out the Mirana. And then you have bottom lane that just got solo killed by mind control. So that's what you're looking at and saying, we don't need to react because our other lanes are doing fine.
The Bat Rider is going to have a great start. Yeah, absolutely. Mind control. To blazing start. Prada still 22 for 10, 16 for 3. The Mirana's catching up. No. Has been able to close the gap. Again, this top lane's certainly the biggest issue that Liquid have on their hands at the moment. Al, 23 for 11. Matumba Man sitting at 10 for 4. It's going to be a very, very slow start for the Morphling this game.
I mean, the Timber Saw can maybe make a rotation with a TP because they have a lot of burst at least.
Oh, on that too. Waveforming away, Chuan unable to get him for the stun. It's creating space and pushing back the team of Liquid. This already feels like a game that Matsu, obviously with this kind of pace to start, Liquid, they're going to want to hold on this one for the long haul. Yeah, they might not have the chance, they're trying to move in, but Liquid, they're quick to return and Matsu comes in. Bursts down Chuan. Going to get themselves anything more here, Liquid. Casing down Kaka and Hao. Got any more control for Kaka?
Oh, Chuan doesn't have a stick, that's why. So, in this lane, Magic Stick is a super value item. Anytime you're in a 3 versus 3, you kind of want it. But he spent his money on boots, which is understandable. Lion needs to be able to get in range to cast his spells. But that's what I was saying about the bonus level that Kuro gets of just having that Shuriken toss bonus damage. Without that, I think they'd have a much harder time getting a kill. And you see how they do it. They commit every single spell. They just blow up one hero and disengage. It's the way they have to play this lane.
Oh, it certainly feels like Liquid are playing it smart though. They're able to get themselves these kills now and then. And this is going to allow bo2 to start to climb back up. By no means are they past the worst of the storm up here on this top lane. How's on his own, and they're actually going to send a TP across from the Timbersaw as well. Feel like they can have a chance to get this one. How throws the Stormhammer back. The Moonlight Shadow, he's going to be out of there. Fada was thinking about diving. In fact, he's going to try for it with the haste rune. He's got it. Fada comes in, finishes off the job. Fantastic rotation there from the man.
Dire's middle tower.
The laning phase is being turned very quickly against Newbee here. And with the Timber getting that kill, Bata can start to snowball as well. He's already got his arcanes. He's going to shove Moo back as far as he can. Just keep up his farm. And then once Mind Control gets Blink, it's going to get real hectic real fast.
Bottom lane, I think Newbee realized that they've sent 3 heroes down here. They may want to see if they can try and do something about the Batrider.
They're only down here because they lost the lane super hard. They can't be up there anymore. Like, they were supposed to win that lane in the first couple of levels, but the more levels that the Bounty Hunter gets and the more levels that the Morph and the Oracle get, their burst damage outscales what Newbee have. Because, I mean, Kaka doesn't even have a point in the stun, right? So this is the normal Ogre build, but I think in some cases it might be better to just get the stun when you're in the tri lane, just to ensure that you can get the kill. Because it's still a 1.5 second stun for 1 point, so I'm not sure if it's the ideal way to play it, but now they've just said, okay, this lane is lost, let's try to pull, let's try to get our supports back into the game, because right now we just, that top lane did not go well.
Absolutely not, and this is great news for Liquid. Matumba Man now starting to get the space that he needs on the Morphling. And so we'll be able to pick up that farm. 9 for 9. He's catching up, but still a little bit of a way to go. But with the laning situation as it is, he's certainly going to have the space to close that gap. As Newbee now more focused indeed on just getting the farm for the Sven and making sure that they don't feed away anything else to the top lane of Liquid. Roki just checking out what's going on in the jungle. Moves there. Clearing out creeps with the arrow. And of course, with this lane switch around, KP is going to have to deal with the top lane on his Naga Siren. So we'll see how well he's able to fare. He has got the Song of Siren available if anything kicks off. The mid lane, in fact, seeing a bit of a go. We can see kind of wrapping around behind Moo. Roki is there in case Fada starts to go in, and he's going to try for it. Misses the Timber Chain, misses the Chakram, and okay, goodbye Fada. Don't.
He's got a regen, so as long as he doesn't like die straight up, he'll be fine.
A little unfortunate there for the Timber. I mean, if he hits a couple of spells, maybe he gets the kill. But as you said, he doesn't put his own life in too much danger. Moo relatively low at the moment, and the creep wave is pushing in. Fada wants to try for it again. Let's see if he hits them this time. But Moo, Moonlight shadowing out. Don't have the detection on them, so Moo will be fine.
I mean, they were trying to play the long con there. Kuro was sitting behind that tower for such a long time, just hoping that.
I mean, they really want this kill.
Yeah, he was trying to force the leap, so Kuro could just hit him with a Janata, and then the hero's just dead. But unfortunately, without the use of Dust, they're not going to have what they need to kill with that Moonlight Shadow, so it'll allow Moo to get away.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Kuroki heading over to the top. They're going to spot KP coming over. Does have Fada around in the neighborhood. Maybe they can try for a bit of action against the Naga Siren, but again, she has got the Song of the Siren, so let's see if she's able to walk it off, and indeed it looks to be the case. Actually got teammates coming back in. Here we go. Song into Arrow. The timing, is it there? It is. Straight onto the Timbersaw. It's going to be a long stun, but do they have the damage to kill him? Moo moves in with the Starstorm and the presence of power. Yes, they do. They'll take down Fada, looking for more. Kaka has the dust. Eyes onto Kuroki. Moo, Chuan chasing him down. The big boys coming in from Newbee, and they'll pick themselves up a second. Managing to punish Liquid there for their presence. And indeed, as we said, it was always going to be a tricky attempt trying to take down the Naga Siren when she had the Song at her availability.
Yeah, that was a really nice nice setup. A bit optimistic from trying to go for the Naga Siren, knowing that KP hadn't been forced to use Song the entire game. So I feel like in some ways it's okay to make him burn Song, but probably not worth trading both heroes, especially since Fato was one of the ones that died. But yeah, Newbee getting a little bit of recovery there. I mean, I say that, but they're still farming very well on both the Naga and the Sven together. So it's not as if, even though they gave away some kills in the top lane, they still like stunted Matumba's farm quite a bit, to a point where Hao's able to make these rotations and still maintain a CS advantage. So everything's still going kind of according to plan here for Newbee.
And I'm liking the signs as well from Hao's build, going straight for that armlet. We're going to see a lot of action from the Sven this game. That could certainly be expected. Hao putting the pressure up on this top tier 1. See if there's any kind of reaction from Liquid. Kuro's heading over. Does have Fada coming around as well, but with the ward, will be spotted out. How he knows what's up, but maybe it's not going to be enough. Mind Control's trying to get in close to personal. Tries over the stun to hold back Kroki, but now Fada turns up. He's been hexed, but the Chakram's on point, and he bursts down How. The high value kill, Liquid.
So
to get themselves out as well.
How did not have a person TPing until after he saw the TP of Mind Control. That was pretty ham, all things considered. I don't know if he had to commit that hard. He got quite a bit of damage on the tier 1 though, so probably not worth at the end of the day, but does allow a little bit more space for the Naga Siren to continue getting whatever farm KP can, and of course Mu as well. Probably making his way towards Aghanims next after the phase boots and the Aquila are done.
Yeah, Mu's certainly been very happy with the space that's been given to him because of Fada's rotations. Again, just playing the safe game. Mu, not a man afraid to pop the Moonlight Shadow to save his own backside. Himself out. Tier 1 very low in the mid lane as well, so we'll see if NewBee are able to finish that one off soon. Liquid do have 3 around. Looks like they're aware that NewBee may try for something here as Jerax and Mind Control are ready to back up Fada on the Timbersaw. But they themselves are going to go for a smoke and a wraparound. So they can find no one on the bottom lane at the moment for NewBee. They've actually turned their attention towards top because they want to try and make a play potentially onto Kroki or try and finish off the tier 1 on this dire safe lane. And then we have it. Dust again. Kaka. Clip him. Unable to catch Kroki right out as he's able to create enough space between himself and NewBee. They'll get the tower done, NewBee.
They're just waiting for track. They need... Kuro just got 6, I guess. Yeah, he sent the tome out, I think.
Yeah, he just had a tome.
So with the track available and the Blink Dagger and Mind Control, this is a very good power spike for them. If they start getting pickoffs, this is where they can just really start to snowball. This is what their lineup's about. Just getting the quick picks, forcing objectives after kills, and worst case scenario, you know, they don't have to worry about high grounding super early because as long as they have track and they're just even trading with NewBee, it's okay because the trades are always going to favor them due to the track itself.
Well, they take the top tower and NewBee are looking for more. They're hungry for some tower gold. Putting the pressure on the mid lane. There'll be a TP coming through. Jerax is there to start to help with the defense. They'll get the deny off. Track starting to be laid out onto NewBee. NewBee unable to find the opening that may have wanted to jump in onto Liquid, but they'll rest with that. The tower's gone down. Timberman worth noting, you know, this is a man that certainly had it in for him at the start. NewBee, they were putting all eyes towards him to slow him down. Now at this point, coming up to the 14-minute mark, he's all but caught up and straight in onto KP. Mind Control gets the lasso. Can they bring him down in time with the adaptive strike? Yes, they can. Big kill for Liquid, and no response from NewBee in time.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a track kill. Kuro wasn't quite there in time, but like you mentioned, still very, very high priority target. He lost... no, wait, he bought his Radiance recipe, so he didn't lose that much. He only lost like 300 gold, 400 gold. Courier?
Can Kroki finish it off? Yes, he can. Gets the Courier. Yes, we've got backup as well. Yes, Mind Control coming across. Chuan falling low. Falls back. Tracked up. That's a track kill. Can they get themselves another with the dust? Oh, they don't even get a chance to do it. But it cuts it down too quickly. The Liquid finding 3 more in quick succession after finding that kill onto KP's Naga. 9 for 3. Really feels the Liquid are starting to take control of the game at this point that they wanted to.
That was such a nice ultimate from Jerax, by the way. Like, as soon as that stun came out, realizing that the line was level 6, Jerax just preemptively used False Promise, just to make sure that the Bounty Hunter didn't die before the track came out. That was just such nice play overall from Liquid, and NewBee probably sticking around in that area a little bit too long. After seeing KP die, I don't know if being able to defend that tower is even a thing. And if you look at the warding that Liquid have right now, it's just so aggressive. They understand so well what heroes are meant to be doing at this stage in the game. And they're just executing. You know, they have insane burst damage. The track kills are on the board now. Got Blink Lasso on the Bat Rider. Everything they need is at their disposal.
Absolutely. And just looking at the net worth as well. That's the fact that the 2 top at the moment, Fada and Matumba in that position. We'll see what NewBee are able to do to get themselves back on top of these cores. As things could start to get quickly out of hand for NewBee if Liquid are allowed to continue like this, but indeed NewBee, they're not going to allow that momentum to stick. Smoking up, ready to look for some action. Straight into the jungle. They themselves have got very good warding over Liquid's jungle. They see Mind Control. Already playing safe. They're aware that heroes are off the map and smoke is inevitably coming from NewBee.
Radiant's
Mind control's going to be safe. The same may not be said for Kuroki, as indeed there again he dispels the smoke. The dust comes out immediately, and they will find the bounty hunter kill. But still, on the side of Liquid, it was a 5-man smoke for Newbee, and it only gets the bounty hunter.
Not the most value smoke, to say the least, but a kill is a kill. They should be able to pressure the tier 2. They know that Hao has God Strength up. He's got the Armlet already done. Echo Saber very close to being completed. Mind Control and KP are just going to do what they can to delay their respective pushes in each of the safe lanes, but that song going to be popped.
Maybe he was hoping to do it before the tower was taken down.
Oh, the Replicate's going to run out.
Oh,
the Replicate's gone.
All right, bo2, he's in a bit of trouble. Jerax is there. There is a false promise available. In fact, they just killed KP straight up. Barda's turned up. It's going to mean the Hao can't come in. Moo heading straight over the haste rune. He's eyeing up Matuma Man. He needs to get some of that strength in him, and he does. Oh, they've got the sentry down as well, forcing Mu to back up. So again, it looked to be a potential nice setup, as you said, catching Matu out without a replica, but he had the backup. Liquid, they keep him alive even without having to use the false promise. And old Kaka, he's been spotted. Kuroki's got the track out. Mind Control's there to help seal the deal. And it's more gold into the pockets of Liquid as they find themselves another, sitting at 11 for 4 at 17.5 minutes in.
Newbee are just losing their map control very quickly. They weren't able to get really any damage on the tier 2. I think when KP songed, the tower died, yes. So there was no way that the rest of Newbee could react fast enough. And it's not even as if anybody on the team has a Blink Dagger, so you know, you're not going to have like Chuan blinking in from the back and throwing out a clutch stun and a finger or anything like that. Just KP, unfortunately, not having the best game, dying solo, dying again in a very awkward spot, and wasting his song. Hopefully he can kind of recover from that, because he needs his Radiance sometime soon. He's been holding on to that recipe in around 1500 gold for a while.
Sentry had spotted Kuroki right on the tip. Dust as well. No escape for the bounty as Kakan Tran control him, beat down upon him. Hao says, I want the kill, boys, and he gets it. Comes in for the cleanup. Nice sentry placement there from Tran. At the same time, though, they're losing the higher priority kills. Jerax on a killing spree as he and his boy Matuma Man take down KP's Naga once again. This Radiance, it's going to be a slow one.
I think he's going to be lucky if it's like a 25-minute Radiance at this pace. This is just way too many deaths. He's died 4 times in 18 minutes. I mean, you consider the fact that Matuma Man was pressured so unbelievably hard during the laning phase, and he's highest net worth, and KP had a 1v1 against a Bat, which, albeit is not the easiest lane in the world for a Naga Siren, he should still be doing a little bit better than this. Because of that, like, their whole strategy kind of revolves around the Naga Siren getting that Radiance and being able to play the lane push game. Because then, if you get 1 or 2 lanes out, you can start to look for picks, and the movement of the enemy team becomes more predictable in a way, and then you can play around that instead. But because of the fact that Liquid are doing so well, getting these track kills and just forcing the tempo of the game, he's just not able to find space.
Oh, pings out. Kuroki did come across that. And didn't have quite a sentry down at the moment, so they didn't spot him. Yeah, Newbee still yet to find that big momentum swing that they really need against the flow that Liquid's got going.
I suppose if Hao gets a Blink Dagger and they get a good Blink stun into a couple of solid attacks, especially with the Bloodlust on the Ogre, there's always a chance they can turn the fights. It's just kind of like the Sven factor. So if you get a good stun, a good few swings, you can kill. The issue is pretty much the Naga taking maybe a little bit longer than Newbee would have liked to come online. During that downtime, you know, Matuma Man's just getting his farm. Got his Lincolns completed. Probably making his way towards E-Blade, I would assume. Very good against Newbee's lineup.
Yeah, Ghost Scepter in the car at the moment. Oh, we can see up top, KP! He's gonna pop the song! It looks like he'll be lucky enough to escape this time, and it's a good job. He's died a few too many times for his own help this game, and while Liquid, they may not call KP, but they're chasing down for something else. Eyes on to Hao. There's a stun to hold back Matuma Man. Hao's coming across, maybe thinking about going for the kill. They'll stun him up, but the false promise is there from Jerax. Matuma Man's going to be more than okay. But got that he wasn't playing Pudge there. Be able to get himself across with a Timber Chain. The Newbee able to avoid another disaster. They're getting everyone back to safety.
It's That's actually kind of a cool interaction now that I think about it. The way that Oracle works with Morphling. Because you can convert stats, the heal is just ridiculously effective. 2 heals pretty much brings him back to full HP. And now it's just, alright, we're gonna push. No song for another minute here on KP's teleport scroll's not even up. Doesn't look like Newbee are gonna be able to do much to defend this at all. There's one saving grace for Newbee though, and that's that Liquid's team is not particularly good at killing Roshan. Morphling is kind of hard to kill Roshan with unless you have like Hummel the Dominator or something like that, which I don't think he's going to buy until much later.
Well, you can see Newbee heading over this half of the map. We'll see what they're able to do. I mean, there has been a TP in from Matuma. If they can catch Matuma Man out on his own, see if they can do this. It's smoked up. It is a hard kill for them to get though. And I think they just can't find the angle to jump in, and KP, he's been caught out again. Now they'll come in. If they can get this kill, it's going to be absolutely huge. But false promise from Jax is there. The heal's starting to come out. Is it going to be enough to save Matu? He's taking an awful amount of damage. But the Ghost Scepter, the Starfall damage indeed is too much magical. They will find that Morphling kill. That is a trade that Newbee will be very, very content with. Matumba Man has really started to race away this match. Yes. Let's see if they can find anything more. The arrow from Moo connects onto Mind Control. He's coming back across. They're going to be able to get themselves yet another Mind Control to fall. Carter having it long on the Timber Saw. Can he do anything else in response? Jerax trying to hold Tron back, but Tron turns, goes for the Hex TP down straight in front of him. It doesn't matter. Jerax there with a final nuke. Finishes him off. They've got vision onto Kuroki. He's being healed up by Jerax. Jerax with the backup, keeping Kuro alive, getting him out of the fight. And Fada's just laying down the damage onto Moo. Bounces away. Fada's going to look for the chase. A little bit low on mana. Moo actually ending up being healed up by that nuke from Jerax. The fight's not over yet. How? Oh, he walks in. In fact, oh, it's the blink back, the double back onto Fada. But again, false promises there from Jerax. Fada's going to survive, gets himself out with the Timber Chain. And Jerax on his Oracle, this game has been saving so many backsides.
He's got to be an MVP for the game so far. He's just honestly everywhere he needs to be. His ults are on point. And a Matumba Man still died when they jumped on a mid, but that was like pretty much everything.
Jerax was like, all right, I've done everything I could.
That's like, you lived an extra like 6 or 7 seconds, dude. That's all I got. But other than that, he's been on point for sure. This is one of the more standout Oracle performances we've seen so far here at TI6.
Brilliant.
It's been a treat to watch, but Newbee getting closer to that Radiance. You know, KP, he's got it. And
I mean, and for a Naga that's died 5 times, 24 minutes, that's not that bad.
It's a little bit earlier than I was kind of expecting. But yeah, he's recovered very well from the deaths. And with the Radiance available, now begins the real test. You know, Liquid, they really want to try to push the lanes as best they can prior to having the Radiance out. And with the Radiance, it's even more so. Ember, although I will say, is pretty darn good at killing illusions, so it's still going to be like 1 or 2 extra items on top of the Radiance before I think Liquid start to really worry. And by that point, Matu should have enough farm to be able to take Roshan. We'll see if Liquid can high ground before that point.
Oh, this game has started to look like Liquid we're going to have a bit of a freebie here in game 1, but Newbee, with that last bit of action, has certainly managed to make sure that won't be the case here. Blink on Moran, indeed on top of the Ags, the combo. You know, that kind of just item combination that can instill a lot of fear into the hearts of enemies. It's pretty potent.
Yep. I guess the weird thing for Newbee's draft is they kind of want to fight, but at the same time they don't want to fight because they're against a bounty and they're usually fighting 4v5. Because KP is either on the other side of the map trying to do his Naga thing, or you know, somebody else just isn't there. Like Moo maybe is split farming as well, since now he has Blink Aghanims. It's just a very interesting game, because the supports on Newbee I feel like are having a very hard time being effective. They're up against an Oracle, so there have been a lot of times where Chuan spells are just completely negated by Fate's Edict. And then they have the Ogre, which doesn't necessarily outlive his usefulness 100% past like 10-15 minutes, but he certainly does fall off. Now he's pretty much just a Bloodlust spot. He just follows around a core and Bloodlust how, and then decides, okay, maybe I sacrifice myself for you if we get ganked. Whereas Liquid, you know, Kuro's just gathering information 24/7, walking around, dropping wards, dewarding. He adds track. We already talked about how Jerax has played a phenomenal game. Like, to me, this game, to a certain degree, is almost more about what the supports can actually do on both teams.
Well, let's see if they're able to do something now. With the help of the full team, Newbee. Locked up and ready to look for action. At the same time, though, Matu finishes off the E-Blade on the Morph. So if Newbee meet the full 5-man head on, it could be a tough one.
They could try for a Roshan sneak. I mean, it's super risky, but the other option is maybe try to go for a fight, but you're fighting into an E-Blade Morph now. And that timing is not ideal. I'm pretty sure Matu like insta-kills most of the heroes on Newbee right now with that combination. How obviously being the one that's super tanky and then move with Aghanims might be able to live as well.
Almost for the time being, with both teams going for a smoke, they're actually going to end up avoiding each other. Liquid will start to wrap around into Newbee's jungle, and Newbee are still down on the bottom, but they realize something's up. Immediate Moonlight Shadow TP out of the lane. They stood and not wanting to stick around. Still, there's a presence of Newbee on this bottom lane. Looks like they're heading to the secret shop, sorry, the side shop to pick up some TP's Kaka. Yeah, his has just come off cooldown. He's out. Moo, ooh, quick blink away. They know he's there though. He goes for the TP, but the flame break cancels it. Moo is in trouble. And Liquid are there surrounding him. Here we go, chopping down the trees. Hello, Moo. Is this your house? You're gonna die in it, sir. Goodbye, Fata. Chops down the entrance and chops down the limbs out of Moo.
That was actually the sickest flame break. How do you just flame break all the way in the corner of the map and hit him like that? That was actually insane. Cores of Liquid have played so well this game. Like, honestly, everyone from Liquid is just kind of on point. In some ways, I think that Newbee's drafts, having KP doing that 1v1 and just kind of struggling in the lane and dying once to mind control, that really does set them back. And obviously getting chain ganked after that, like dying, what, 5 times before he got his Radiance completed? Newbee's lineup was very dependent on 2 things: a good Radiance timing and not dying in their tri-lane.
Yes.
Since the other 2 lanes lost, you need your tri-lane to win.
And that didn't happen.
And it did not happen.
It did not happen.
Slowed the farm, but they were giving away kills, so that's not a big enough win considering the other lanes were not going well.
Matu. Oh man, that's already proven to be very slippery. Has now got the Aegis at hand as well. They did manage to take the tier 2. Instantly backing off. I wanted to fight into this newfound Aegis of mortality for Matu.
I mean, Hao's actually kind of close to BKB.
He is, but in terms of damage, is that still arguably going to be lacking against Liquid's lineup, or can he do enough?
Oh, he's going to blast, for sure. He's going to do a lot of damage. Yeah. I mean, Armlet, Echo with a God Strength.
That's enough at this stage.
Yeah, that's still more than enough right-click damage, I think, to get kills. Like, maybe you're not going to kill Matu or the Timber, but you can certainly kill anyone else.
And Liquid now, the Aegis, yeah, they want to make something happen. Well, actually catching mind control on the smoke there. Father's going to lead the way. You know, the Hao's cleaning these Ancients up. But Hao also knows that Liquid, they've got him in their sights, and he's not going to stick around too close to the team. As Liquid unable to find a jump in. Newbee playing it very safe, keeping themselves back behind the tier 2. KP as well, not wanting to go out on his own at this point of the game. Knows that Liquid will almost certainly be ready to jump on him. Moo with his build as well, picking up the Perseverance. So what's the progress here for Moo on his Mirana after the Blink Axe?
I'm guessing it's Linken's, right?
Just going for the Linken's to avoid the kind of initial jump in from a Last or the burst down from a Morphle.
Yeah, it's on paper it's okay. Personally, I don't like buying Linken's against Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter has a very long distance, short cooldown way of breaking the Linken's itself, and then you can just get jumped on anyway. But again, that's a personal preference. The other reason you can buy it is it's an item that gives you mana regeneration.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Because of the build that he's going and focusing more on wave clear, I think that's why it's most of the time the natural progression that you see on a Mirana after Aghanim's Blink. It's the same reasoning as to why Morphling buys Linken's a lot of the time, even if he doesn't really need it for the use. It's for the regen and just for the stats. I think it's kind of the same thing for Mirana this game. Of course, if Liquid mess up and go in and try to E-Blade combo the Mirana or try to Batrider Lasso without 4-stepping first, yeah, you're gonna the Linken's, but I wouldn't count on that this game.
Oh, Newbee were able to find a tier 1 whilst Liquid hang around for this tier 2 push on the mid lane. They're all backed up. Newbee, the full lineup there, jumping in, teasing Matumba Man. Very, very hard kill for them to have any hope of finishing off. In case they can get a perfect lead in as an arrow onto Fada, but again, they don't want to move close to this lineup of Liquid.
Radiant's middle tower
Have to respect their power, give them the space to find this tier 2. The question is, how heavy Liquid want to go in at this point? I mean, do Liquid, do they feel pressured to try for a high ground push, or can they hold back for a bit?
No, they don't have to end it right now. I mean, they do have the Aegis advantage, so maybe they're feeling like getting the last tier 2 and then trying to go high ground might be a decent play. But with the BKB on How, there is always the opportunity now for Newbee to turn it. Bloodlust with Armlet on Sven and God Strength, that initiation potential and being able to like burst kill a hero. Still a very scary thing.
As we can see at the moment, it's very much Liquid just having absolute control of the outside of Newbee's base, and Newbee unable to leave the high ground at the moment. As Liquid are in such a strong position. The net worth of the two cores, Fada and Matubaman, sitting in the 17k bracket compared to the 12k of Mu and How. It's a massive difference. As Liquid have managed to cement themselves in a very, very secure position at this point.
Nice arrow. Fortunately, he's way too far to follow that.
I'm just going to see now that the siege begins. Liquid feeling confident to stand their ground. What can they do to stop this? Moonlight comes out. Putting a track onto Kaka, is trying to move in. Moog jumping in again with a Starfall burst. Yes! Not enough. Arrow onto Fada, but Jax, he's there on the back lines with the face heating. None of this magical damage is going to do anything to the Timber. Gets forced out, he's fine, and Liquid, they'll take a tier 3 and they lose absolutely nothing. At this point, it just feels like Newbee can't do anything to stop Liquid getting away with these kind of pushes.
The Oracle's just destroying them, honestly. So normally when you do these pushes against a Mirana and you get arrowed and there's a Lion, you just get bursted down, or you take so much damage that you feel like you can't push.
Oh, and if you find How like this outside of the base, dragging him back, he's got to pop the BKB and get himself out of this one. That would have been an incredibly painful loss for Newbee if they lose How like that just outside of the base. Because of course, at the least have to expend a BKB charge. That really could have been a lot worse for them there.
He's more than okay with that, just BKBing to live. Realizing that the Aegis is probably going to be down soon anyway, I don't think Liquid were going to stick around. So BKB now on Matsu, which is a little bit interesting.
I guess it just adds to the potential to just sit there and pummel away at the towers and the racks.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously you get disarmed if you get Fate's Edict cast on you, so being able to sit there with BKB and punch buildings, it's obviously good.
And Liquid looking to fight, jumping in onto How. There's the song from KP. Are going to use this to get out though. They just know that they still can't fight Liquid head on.
Man, he's only level 12. 34 minutes on a Naga side. Let's put that in perspective. Jarex is level 14.
It's not great for Newbee.
Well, this is what happens when you have a poor early game on Naga. And
Fada's just AFK. Like,
he doesn't have to be here. He just takes no damage.
He just sits there. Nice Starstorm.
His itemization is perfect as well, because he bought the Hood after the Bloodstone, realizing that the biggest threat for him really is just the magic damage that Newbee can deal.
This is pretty demoralizing. And now Moog immediately jumps on. Dwarf burst out as well. Liquid, they've decided to immediately look for the burst potential onto these squishy Newbee cores. How's there, trying to play around it, has the BKB blink himself out of it. And just like that, they lose two heroes. And Liquid playing absolutely ferociously. And Newbee, they just can't deal with it. They're coming out, the three of them. Look at, they're just jumping in. Just playing with Newbee at this stage of the game. Liquid are so far ahead. They've taken the bottom racks. They'll move towards the mid lane. It looks like it could just all be said. Be done for Newbee here. As Liquid, they've just played at another level. They really have at the start. It looked like Newbee had been able to slow down Liquid, figure them out in the laning stage, but they worked around it perfectly. Newbee needs something absolutely miraculous. They are going to have the full 5-man backup for this defense. As Moog gets himself back in there on the Mirana. Lincoln's complete. But it's... I don't know, Jaskal. What's the plan here for Newbee?
You need to try to fight somewhere in the open. I mean, it's kind of tough because there's some aggressive warding here from Liquid, and they're still kind of lingering around. But when your tier 3s are dead, you don't want to let the enemy team get to your base anymore. You kind of want to try to take an open fight. Try to force an engagement, but it's just so difficult because Liquid's advantage.
Oh, no, he was there, I do promise. He really was.
At one point.
Liquid, they're just so quick to pounce. As soon as they see an opening, there's no dilly-dallying. Liquid is straight on top of you.
It's just unfortunate that they were literally under a ward. Like, they walked in and they say, okay, we need to try to do something, reestablish control of our jungle, maybe take a small fight if we can. And Liquid were just there as 5. And you just walk out and you lose your Mirana instantly.
And Liquid, of course, at this point, they know there's no Mirana. They know that there's no Song of the Siren. What does Newbee do? It feels like they can all just got to watch their time. Jumping onto Matuma. Jerax immediately with a face C-deck reaction. Matuma man pops the BKB, and Jerax false promises himself. They can't even kill the Oracle. How? Trying to cut through the armor of Liquid is not going to go very well at all. Oh man.
That was brutal.
Well, we said at the start of this series it could be close. There was nothing close about that at the end of the day. Liquid 20 for 7. Their first game, of course, of the group stages for both of these teams. And, wow, you said it before. You know, Liquid, historically, recently, they are the ones to take down Newbee in a series, but they didn't just take them down. They buried them 6 feet under that one.
That was pretty brutal. You can see, though, like, the game plan that Newbee had wasn't necessarily a bad plan. It's just